Well, it's been a while for Ask Boof on Twitter. I'm with you today. There's been some great Twitters coming through, or tweets coming through to me. And the first one's from Duncan Palmer, who says, can we play 4 fast bowlers at the Gabba, or will we play 4 fast bowlers at the Gabba, and can Peter Siddle do the holding role? Well, traditionally we love to play a spinner, as you know, and we love an all-rounder in our side, which allows us to do that. If conditions suit and it was overcast, then we may look at that, but traditionally we like to play a spinner. Peter Siddle did a really good job for us in the UAE, so hopefully he'll get the nod with the selectors and play a role for us at the Gabba. But very good question, Duncan. Darren Withers, do you think it's time for Steve Smith to bat higher in the test order? Well, that's the captain's choice. He's certainly done a role for us at 5 over the last 12 months. I think he's got 5 test hundreds. He's been fantastic and he's grown in stature in the game. He's been a fine young player for us, and we know at the end of the day he'll end up batting higher in the order, but at the moment he's at 5, so only time will tell. But good question. James Foster, how can we utilise our first-class structure to prepare better for subcontinent test matches? Well, that's one of the best questions I had on Twitter, lads. So, James, it's an interesting one because the Shield season finishes and we normally tour a bit later or before the season. So for us, it's a case of getting over to the subcontinent earlier. We had a great prep in Dubai and we should have played better. We know that. We didn't bat as well as we would have liked. But it's a good question because some of the wickets now are similar like subcontinent, Adelaide Oval, for example, some of those sort of tracks. So we're getting best prepared as we can. What happens, our batters have got to bat for 6 and 8 hours and long periods of time, which we didn't do in the UAE, and we weren't good enough. We accept that. But we're trying as hard as we possibly can each and every day. Marco Ferreira, are Muirhead and Boyce on the radar for test selection as leg spinners? Good question. James Muirhead's not playing for Victoria at the moment. They've got Fawad Ahmed as their leg spinner and young Holland as the left armour. But he's a work in progress. He's a young guy. Did really well in the T20 for us. He's got some attitude, which we like, and he's a big spinner of the ball. But he's probably not as consistent as we would like. So for Cameron Boyce came on the scene and did a really good role in the T20s for us, both away and at home. So he's probably the incumbent as a T20 spinner and done a good role. What we need these guys to do is play Shield cricket, grow, learn the game, and start to get some wickets for us. So that's pleasing. And Peter, do you consider yourself more of a traditional coach or a man manager? I think you've got to be a bit of both, Peter, to be perfectly honest. One of the things is there's times when you let the players go because they're going okay, and there's times when you've got a coach, times you've got a man manager, and it's a mixture of the roles. I'm sort of probably a bit old age and new age at the same time, so somewhere in the middle, if that's possible for me. So the big thing as a coach, as long as we're learning and we're teaching them the right way to play and improve their game, that's really important from our point of view. Last couple, Andy, best all-time Australian openers. Well, in my time, obviously it was the Hayden Langer show, wasn't it? I mean, they were fantastic over a period of time. You've seen Warner and Rogers do a really good job of late. Bill Laurie was one of my fancy ones. I love him. I love him commentating. I just love the way he's passionate of the game. They're all cricket nuffies, which I love as well. So they're passing on their knowledge to our current players and doing a great job for the world game. So those guys are right up there. And Robert, who will be the next leg spinner to play Test cricket for Australia? Well, there's one of a few out there, isn't there? It could be any one of the 3 or 4 we've got running around state cricket. But it's a great question because we've obviously got Nathan Lyon, who's done a good job for us as an off-spinner. Everyone loves leg spinners in the test side because we're all still trying to find the next Shane Warne, who was the best spinner of all time in my book. But any one of those guys, if they get wickets and perform at Shield level, they'll get the chance to play at the next level. So it could be any one of those. All those were great questions today, and it's great to be back in front of you asking the Ask Boof segment. Hopefully you enjoyed my responses. See you next time.